much for tuning in. It's not very often. It's usually 9.9 times out of 10, it's the police that are assisting the public in regards to safety matters and emergencies. And this was a case on May 27th at about 3:50 p.m. That yourself and Doug Blondell, a longtime Port Hope resident, came to the aid of an officer. Our officer Dan Belanger from the Port Hope Police Service responded to a call of an unwanted person in downtown Port Hope, and he attended that location and was asked that person to move on, who was belligerent and causing trouble at the store. The officer rightfully asked that person to leave. The person went towards the back of the store but refused to leave. And at that time came running at the officer, who was able to get his taser out and deploy it twice. It was ineffective because of the grounding issues. And the next, a battle ensued. Constable Belanger took the person down as the subject was struggling for Constable Belanger's taser. Immediately, which doesn't always happen, Jan Henry and Douglas came to Officer Belanger's aid and helped him in restraining the accused, which obviously we all know could have potentially gone a different way. If it wasn't for their actions, we don't know what would have happened. All we can say is those actions are incredible and are above and beyond. We don't often see this from the public, and it's so encouraging for us in the police service to see our community citizens behind us. And I'm going to ask her worship to say a few words as well, and maybe hold up the plaques for us to see. And then our vice chair, John Hudson, will say a couple words as well. So, thanks, worship.
Let's see if I can hold them both in my hands so you can see them, Jan Henry. So just to reiterate your words, well, Jan Henry, first of all, we talk about the residents of Port Hope, so now you're an honorary resident of Port Hope. And Douglas, thank you. We recognize you, and on behalf of the municipality of Port Hope, we are so incredibly grateful to you for this incredible act of bravery. And we just really want to take the opportunity to say again, we appreciate you, we see what you did, and we thank you very much for your service. And Jan Henry, we will make sure that this is sent to you in Germany. Where are you in Germany?
I currently live in Frankfurt in Germany.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful city. And I hope that when you come back to Port Hope, that you'll have a little bit more of a relaxing visit, but that our hearts and our town are always open to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Port Hope is deeply embedded in my heart as well. Thanks to the amazing school that has also embedded these values into me to help out whenever necessary and whenever I see fit. So, but thank you so much for the honor.
Thank you, Jan Henry. We're just gonna, our vice chair representing the board. So our mayor is representing our municipality, and we have John Hudson here, our vice chair of the board representing the board, just to say a couple words.
Thank you, Chief. It's very much a pleasure on behalf of the board and on behalf of the whole police service to thank you for your heroic work on that particular day. It reflects very much on the citizenry, not only of this community, but of those around the world who, when faced with this kind of situation, come equal to the task. And so we say, on behalf of certainly our entire service, many thanks indeed for your heroic work on that particular occasion. Thank you.
And before we complete, is there anyone else? Dan, do you want to say a couple words? I know you're a man of few words. Just a hard worker.
I think I said it there at the scene. I appreciated everything.
Okay. Thanks. Can we get a picture of that?
Doug, if you can, tell me about what happened.
Well, I was working. I was parked in front of the Ganny, and I saw the officer in front of the LCBO. His truck was parked right in front, and I saw that he was ushering gentleman away from the store. And I didn't think anything of it. Went back to just twiddling on my phone there, and I heard a pop, and I saw everybody's heads turn in the parking lot. And I thought, well, you know, it took me a couple of seconds to put together that that was a taser. And so I got out of my van, looked across the street, and I saw him wrestling with the gentleman, and I just ran across the street, jumped on the back of him, and told him to get on the ground. And from there, we were able to secure the gentleman on the ground, get his hands in handcuffs, and you know, thankfully everybody's okay.
What was it like? Was the way you described, was the suspect, I'm not going to say gentleman, but was the suspect on top of the officer? Like, was it?
For a couple of seconds, yeah, it was. I didn't know which way it could go, and I just knew that I didn't want it to get too out of control. I mean, there were a lot of people in the parking lot at the time, and a lot of people just standing around, and I didn't want to be the guy parked across the street just watching, you know, this all go down. I just decided to jump in.
How was a bit of a wrestling match?
It was. He was the subject, or the gentleman, was amped up. I've only encountered that a couple of times in my life, and to see how charged up he was, it surprised me, especially when I went hands-on. It became very apparent that the taser was not working.
After you got done and things slowed down, is that when it sort of kicked in how, quote, serious this was?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there was a couple of seconds where there were three of us trying to get this guy's hands behind his back to secure him. You know, nobody was trying to hurt him. We were just trying to make sure that, number one, the officer was safe, and number two, that this guy was, you know, just held. When I got up, I realized how serious it was. You know, we were all a little bloody and a little bruised, and you know, it's a testament to how hard these police officers' jobs are every single day.
What do you think about this today?
You know, I didn't expect anything, but it's kind of nice that you know, they acknowledge that you know, people didn't have to step in, but we did. And I got to tell you, I'd do it 1,000 more times if I had to.
Last question, and we spoke about this previously, but I mean, the people that were standing there doing nothing must, your thoughts?
Not everybody has the size, not everybody has the ability, so I get it, you know, especially, but when you see somebody that's not even just a police officer, when you see somebody that needs help, if you have the ability, if you have the confidence, if you have, you know, even just to stand up, call 911, you know, scream, get off that guy, get off, you know. You see it in movies all the time when they're screaming at the police to get off of somebody. In this case, the guy was out of control and needed to be, he needed to be controlled, and you know, for everybody's safety, not just the police officer, but everybody that was in that parking lot, you know, was a potential victim for this guy.
Jim, just a comment about what these guys did was amazing.
Yeah, incredible work and brave work. As we were talking about before, Pete, a lot of times people, the first thing they want to do is pull out their camera. We did have some 911 calls on this, which was important, and we had people come to the aid of an officer. And usually, as I had said, 99% of the time it's us coming to the public's aid, and this time we needed somebody to help us, and it turned out perfectly by two fantastic gentlemen who we honored today.